Hello YouTube, Shani here and welcome back to my channel. I have been wanting to do this Draw This Again art tag for a while now, and I sort of completed it when I did my Detective Conan fan art a few weeks ago, but that was unintentional and it was resulted from my procrastination. This time I wanted to actually do one. And since I'm close to finishing my first ever sketchbook, don't worry, sketchbook tour coming soon, I wanted to recreate a page from the start of my sketchbook at the last spread of my sketchbook. I think it's a really good idea. I started this sketchbook in 2016 Inktober period, and that shows how long it took me to complete the sketchbook. I always admire those artists who can finish their sketchbook in a month or two. This one took me more than a year, and I definitely want to draw more frequently and therefore complete more sketchbook in less time. Since I want to see a pure improvement in my art skill, not a upgrade of my art supplies, I decided to use the exact same pens I did use in my 2016 Inktober piece, which is micron pens and brush pens. Of course, this time I favored micron pens over brush pens just because of my style change. I did color my traditional sketch digitally, however, at the latter half of the video because I encounter a lot of obstacle attempting to film the traditional portion of the speed paint. For some reason, I just can't get the setup right for the camera, and I have to twist in weird angles in order to not have my head entirely covered drawing, which I did not succeed as well, so I have to cut out all those footage that is pretty much unusable, leaving there only be like 2 minutes of traditional speed paint footage. There was that awkward moment when the mailman came and he saw this weird girl twisting her body around a tripod and a phone hanging above the tripod in order to draw something. Yeah, I was like, I just laugh at the mailman and just forget what you saw. If you are wondering why the mailman can see me, yes, I did not sit outside. I was sitting in front of the living room window to get better natural lighting. But that didn't matter because there's not much footage I could use. This technical difficulty definitely made my lines more shakier than usual, and I feel like it did result in me making more mistakes than my usual drawing. Despite that, I'm still pretty happy with the result. It did show my major improvement, which is I did have a better understanding of anatomy, a better control of lines, and being able to find better reference, evidence being the shell not looking as awkward as before. I believe the original Inktober prompt for the original drawing was hidden. It's ironic because now I wanted to look at the drawing and name it Open Shell or Open Secret. I vaguely remember old me thinking I want to portray hidden secrets or hidden treasure in the original piece, but since you have to be able to see the treasure to know there's hidden treasure, therefore the shell's open, which doesn't really make sense. I still really like the concept though, a girl sitting in a shell hugging a pearl. I think what most people think first when they see a girl and the seashell, they would immediately link it to either Venus or a mermaid. In this case, it is neither, even though I'm tempting to call her Venus because she is naked and she is in a clamshell. But my idea was for her being a spirit of the nature or a fairy of the pearl, which I think is really cute as well. I might need to work more on her character design if I ever wanted to redraw this again. There are problems that I immediately realized even while I was drawing her. She has a really big head compared to her body. Judging by the composition of drawing, I'm leaning more to enlarging her whole entire body rather than shrinking her head. But since the piece is traditionally inked, I can't really just select a part of her body and make it bigger or smaller. That's a digital thing, and I did wanted to change that or fix that digitally, but since I'm comparing to a drawing, done traditionally without any digital edit. I sort of wanted to keep it with all the mistakes. I'm still very frustrated at myself for making this mistake though, because I had that exact same problem in the old drawing, and I know I have that problem and I'm determined to fix it. And I haven't been making that problem recently in my sketchbook if you look at the human figures I draw, but just when I wanted to redraw an old piece, I started to make an old mistake again, which is kind of sad. I guess it has something to do with her overly long and voluminous hair. I like that she has really long and voluminous hair, but since it covered her shoulder and the connection, the neck between her head and her body, I sort of ignored how these two parts of her body would be proportionate to each other. So next time I have to beware to draw the body figure before adding the hair. Although I did say I don't want to change anything digitally, I did clean up the lines because there's like pencil lines that I couldn't erase and dents in the paper that translated into the photo while I was coloring. And there's lines that are really thick that bothers me, so I cleaned up the lines a little bit. And by the way, I did enlarge the whole drawing as compared to the pages, because while looking at the picture you can see how small I drew it on the page, even though it's supposed to be a spread. I wanted to do a spread because I wanted the drawing to be big, but I feel like the size I ended up with could fit into a single page. Despite all those unfortunate mistakes, I do like how I colored the pearl and somewhat how I colored the shell. The pearl actually looked like a pearl, not a glowing ball or some sort of ball. It has like different colors because pearl do catches the light in different ways. It's not just white when you draw it. So if you just color it shades of white, and it will just look like a white ball, not a pearl. So I looked up reference. Yes, I always look up reference. References do really help, and I tried to color it according to the reference, and it turned out really pretty. Though the pearl is not really round, well, actual natural pearls are not round anyway, so I guess that worked out. The seashell definitely need a lot more improvement to look the way I wanted it to look. It sort of looked metallic at the end, but I guess it's better than looking like plastic. The real mother of pearls have almost a holographic, rainbow-y kind of color to it, and I don't think I depicted it really well, though I did try to portray the way it reflects light. Thanks to reference again, I cannot do this on my own. I still do like my drawing overall, and I like the result, and I'm happy with how I improved over this long period of time. And is there things that I wanted to fix right now? Yes, there's a lot of things I could have fixed in the drawing if certain things didn't happen, but I guess life is a long, endless journey of improvement, so stay tuned for the next redraw, I guess. We're coming to the end of this video. Thank you for staying with me for this long. If you want to see more art from me, like daily doodle sketches, check out my Instagram. If you want to see all the full images of my digital art, check out my DeviantArt. If you want prints by any chance, please check out my Redbubble. Thank you very much, and I will see you in the next video.